Morgan Gibbs-White has decided to sign a new deal at Nottingham Forest, and now you can add Nottingham Forest to the latest clubs in the Premier League who clearly have more ambition than Tottenham Hotspur. Now, I was going to come on and talk about this after the absolute dross that we got served up on Saturday, but you know what? Just couldn't even be asked, to be honest with you, because Tottenham Hotspur, 4 hours on my Saturday that I'm never gonna get back. So we have to get into that as well. But first of all, we got to touch on the Morgan Gibbs-White saga because obviously, without getting too much into it, because I'm pretty sure everybody is tired of hearing it now. But obviously, Tottenham triggered the release clause of Morgan Gibbs-White. Nottingham Forest were adamant that he was not leaving to go to Tottenham Hotspur, and fair play to them and their owner because everything that he said come true. And he stood on business, and obviously, whatever everyone wants to say about the interview, how forced it looked, their owner has managed to persuade Morgan Gibbs-White that their ambition is larger than the one of Tottenham Hotspur. Because really and truly, if he sat down with him and said, and then he saw that the project that they were offering him at Forest wasn't the project they were going to offer him at Spurs, then he still would have said, I'm going to Tottenham. But clearly, Nottingham Forest have obviously put their money where their mouth is. Another thing that Tottenham Hotspur don't want to do, giving him the biggest wage. As I said, it's a club record-breaking deal. And now he's staying at the club. And fair play to them because, let's be honest, if Tottenham really wanted to push hard enough, we could have. But of course, once again, we're lacking ambition. And we don't want to go that extra mile to push ourselves on. And it just kills us. And now we've wasted, 2 weeks chasing a player that, from their side, they said he was never coming anyway. So we've been chasing a player that was never coming to Tottenham anyway. And now we're just left even further behind than what we already were. And then we get to Saturday. 2 games Tottenham Hotspur served us up. 2 against League One teams, Wickham and Luton. And they were both awful. Absolutely awful. Wickham Wanderers team, that game, ended 2-2. Pap Sarr scored both goals. They had quite a few chances as well, to be honest. That game was pretty dross, but at least we got a couple goals. We conceded. First goal, you can't really blame on the team. It's more of a Brandon Austin mistake because it absolutely slipped through his fingers. But once again, you look at the Luton game, obviously we've just given away a better goalkeeper. And now our third choice goalkeeper's probably proved that maybe he's not good enough, but you just got to hope we don't get to that third choice. But once again, that happened to us last season and we had to play our third choice. So we will see. Second goal, just pretty bad defending, to be honest. Obviously, yes, I know it's pre-season before everyone starts shooting me and says you can't get too carried away because it's pre-season, but you still want to see a performance, though, and you still want to see obviously us trying new things, seeing as we got a new manager, and I'm just not really seeing it, to be honest. And it's just a bad look, to be honest with you guys. And then we get to Luton, and that's just a game to forget. If you look at the stats, Luton peppered us with shots. There wasn't really much to do, but Tottenham didn't do anything, and that's not a good look. Like, the way I was seeing it is, could you imagine owning a Lamborghini Aventador, fresh, no miles, brand new, and then you got to trade that in for your nan's Nissan Micra from about 30 years ago? That's what it's gone from being Ange Ball to Thomas Frank Ball, or whatever they want to call Frank Ball. We're just not creating anything. Yes, of course, with Ange, we gave up so many chances, but we were giving up chances in order to try and score. And I'll be honest with you, the games are just boring. As I say, yes, I know it is pre-season, but still, you want to see something, though. I know everyone wants to bang on that pre-season is just about getting fitness, but we're not really seeing what Thomas Frank's trying to do at the moment. But as I said in the last video, you can't even really blame Thomas Frank for that because, as I said, it's the board that are killing him. Literally, when we sacked Ange Postecoglou, when the board sacked Ange Postecoglou, they said it's because we didn't compete on all fronts and they wanted to give us the best chance because Daniel Levy, quote unquote, wants to win the Premier League and wants to win the Champions League. And done nothing whatsoever to show it. Yes, so we've gone on our pre-season tour. The season kicks off in what, 2 weeks? I think we got 2 weeks, maybe just over 2 weeks till we play PSG in the Super Cup, one of the biggest games in the club's history, well, the club's recent history anyway. And we've only signed Mohamed Kudus and Kota Sakai, who obviously when we signed, we thought, okay, this could be a decent little gem from Japan. Injured, haven't seen him play once, so now we're looking even weaker. To add to that, obviously now Destiny Doggy's injured, and we were already talking about how we needed left back. See, I just don't understand it, because the common Spurs fan, obviously, I know X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, isn't the barometer of sporting merit. And obviously, I'm not saying that everyone on X, but the fact that you've got normal people, normal Spurs fans, normal Spurs watch going fans saying we need left back cover. Tottenham Hotspur clearly did not see that. Now Destiny Doggy's injured straight away, and we're ready on to Ben Davis. And let's be honest, Ben Davis last season didn't play any minutes at left back, I don't believe. And on the game on the weekend, we had to put Jamie Donnelly there. Now he's a centre attacking mid. Yes, I know he's left footed, but it just shows the bare bones of the squad. And once again, obviously we don't want to talk about him because he's gone to West Ham now. But even a player like Carl Walker-Peters, that was a free transfer that could have just been done and wrapped up so easily. But obviously Spurs were probably relying on Destiny Udogie to stay fit for a whole season. And I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't believe Destiny's actually played a full season without any injuries. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, because obviously he came into the team properly under Ange. First season, I remember, even if you go back to the Chelsea game, oh no, he got sent off against Chelsea. But you know what I mean? He definitely got injured in that first season. And last season, he was blighted with injuries again. So as much as I rate Destiny as a top left back and a top talent, he still hasn't proven that he can do a whole season. So the fact that we're going into a season now, and the only fit left back we have is Ben Davis, who arguably, arguably shouldn't be at the club. And honestly, we're just killing ourselves. Like, where do we go from now? As I said, now that we don't have Morgan Gibbs-White, are we going to try and go for another player in that position? Still haven't addressed this number 6 position. Honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know. It's just frustrating. And then before we even get into it, we have the massive game of a pre-season friendly. The first North London derby outside of the UK, outside of North London, I guess. Tomorrow in pre-season against a team that they've spent nearly £200 million now strengthening the positions they need to strengthen. And yes, it's a pre-season friendly and it's not going to mean anything, but if we go out and get battered tomorrow, everybody knows what Arsenal fans are like. If we go out and get battered, it's going to be plastered everywhere. They're going to be singing, dancing, all about it. And it's just going to be the worst look ever. As much as, yes, I know it's a preseason friendly, you still don't want to lose the game. And you want to put in a decent performance. But from what I've seen so far this season, we could easily get battered. Obviously, it's probably going to be Victor Gyökeres' first game as well. So he's going to be itching to get off the mark. And Tottenham, honestly, Tottenham, it's just getting worse and worse. Literally getting worse and worse. As I say, 2 weeks till we play PSG in the Super Cup. And yeah, and obviously the season starts the weekend after that. But the Super Cup is just, think about it, that's another game that the whole world are going to watch. And as I said in the last video, even before we got Thomas Frank, if you think about it, when we had Ange Postecoglou going up against PSG, we knew this was a game that we could potentially get popped. They won the Champions League final, 5-0? I believe it was it 5 or 6? Whatever it was. They won the Champions League final at a canter. And then you're going to play the team that finished 17th in the Premier League, who have not strengthened. Yes, we've added in one winger, but as I say, as good as Mohamed Kudus is, he's not going to change the prospects of this team currently. And we could get our you-know-what's handed to us in that game. And then we go into Burnley. We better win that game. And then obviously we got City away. I don't even know the games past that, but come on. This could be a very bad start to the season. And as I say, it's not good for Thomas Frank because the pressure is going to build up. And even if you look at Thomas Frank's record at his last couple clubs, I believe Brentford, he lost 8 of his first 10 games or something like that. That cannot happen at Spurs, but it's a potential it can. And at Brombury, I think something like he didn't win in 8 or something like that. And come on, if he gets off to a start like that at Spurs, he's probably going to be out the door straight away. And then what do we do? Because we don't have the players. We haven't backed the manager. Honestly, guys, just let me know what you think in the comments as well. Because what do we do now that Morgan Gibbs-White's obviously not coming? We've got barely any time. I don't know when they come back. They come back sometime next week. To be fair, I think we play Newcastle on Sunday. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm guessing we'll be back sometime next week. Then we've got a week to prepare for the PSG game. So we need players. We need players on that plane to South Korea or to Hong Kong straight away. But clearly Tottenham are not going to do that because, as I said at the top of the video, we lack ambition. Let me know what you think in the comments as well, because it's just, I say it, I feel like I'm saying it every video, but all the hope that we had coming on the back of the Europa League win, as I say, when we were thinking we were going to sign 2 players, or 2 top players in one day, now all that's just been sucked out. Obviously, all that excitement's just been sucked out, and I'm really not even looking forward to the season starting, which is the worst because as a Spurs fan, it's only the start of the season when you really know, oh, we could do something this year. But this is the one year in a while when I've really thought, just end the season already. We ain't even kicked a ball and I want the season to be over. How sad is that? What an indictment on where we've come from Europa League champions to where we are now. Let me know in the comments what you think as well. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and we'll be back. Peace and love.